Hours Lounge on 1620 The Zone, the 1620 The Zone app, and 1620thezone.com. When 6A to 6P isn't enough, the boys have you covered. Here's Jimmy Allen.
6 o'clock on a Tuesday night here on 1620 The Zone. We're brought to you by Bellevue University. You can head over to bellevue.edu. You can register for classes. You can become a Bruin tonight. I'm Jimmy Allen. That's John Schreiner. Dan Campen in studio with me tonight. John Schreiner's a slacker and is at home as I incorrectly gave people information that you were somewhere wherever the UNO women's basketball team would be. That's here in Omaha. So
yes, that's correct. No, the reasoning is I'm planning a 7-year-old birthday party for my kid, and it's a lot of work.
It is. So, yeah, I'm not looking forward to those days. We're just like, hey, let's take our kid to the pool and let her swim because she doesn't have friends yet. They're only 2 and 1, so
there's gonna be 20 kids at my house this weekend. So I'm busy trying to bomb-proof this house. So yeah, there's a lot of work to be done.
Tonight we got a lot of work to do as well. We're going to talk about the weekend in the NFL that was. I'll get to some takes I didn't get to on sportsmanlike conduct. Nebraska has hired their new quarterbacks coach. Is Glenn Thomas a good fit? John Schreiner and myself debate at 6:30. Brian Munson talks all things Husker football recruiting. We will buy or sell at 7 o'clock. We'll give you our Papillion sanitation trash take of the night. I got one that I think John Schreiner will peek his ears at.
Oh.
And, how serious is the weather in the NFL, and should we look at moving things indoors? We will debate all of that. I'm sure the Lambeau Leap faithful out there are very excited about the possibility of not having to sit in -20 weather to watch their beloved Packers go on the field.
All right, before we go any further,
save it for 7:30.
No.
Okay.
No.
All right.
It's not getting saved because I had to listen to USC today.
I'm only allowing this because I want to eat this French fry. Go ahead.
I listen to USC every single day, and if you're an avid listener of USC or you listen to it today, Jimmy, you've been sitting in that seat now for...
I was listening today.
4 hours and 3 minutes minimum.
My butt's a little sore.
All I've heard from Jimmy today is a bunch of BS about the Packers. So I'm coming in pretty hot tonight, and I apologize for that, John. Do not let it reflect upon my character.
Let's talk about it. Let's dive head first into this weekend in the NFL. And obviously Dan Campen should not be this fired up because his Packers won. They walked into Jerry World, easy for me to say, and pulled off a win against the 2 seed in the Dallas Cowboys and did it in pretty impressive fashion when you look at the way that the ground game was able to kind of take control for the Packers and obviously their defense, putting Dak Prescott in an all too familiar situation. John, for you, when we're talking about the future of the Dallas Cowboys, do you think it includes both Mike McCarthy and Dak Prescott?
I think it will include 1 and should include 0.
Wow. Okay.
I was big time out when they gave Dak Prescott all that money for the simple fact of my philosophy on how you win in the NFL now, right? If you don't have a top 3 quarterback in the league, you need a rookie. Like this is the formula. This is the formula now. This is how you win. Either you have Patrick Mahomes, you have Tom Brady, or Peyton Manning, or someone of that ilk, right?
Josh Allen. Yeah.
It has to be somebody who's in the absolute elite of quarterbacks in the NFL. And if you don't have that guy, then you're paying someone way too much money to be your quarterback.
Yeah, I don't necessarily agree on Dak Prescott and being completely.
Is he winning Dallas a Super Bowl? He's not.
But he's not Daniel Jones, though.
He's not Daniel Jones. I will agree with you there.
Listen, only one team wins the Super Bowl, and I know everybody aspires to do it. But I think a guy who threw nine interceptions total this season before the playoffs, and listen, the playoffs are where it matters. I don't necessarily know if it's a bad idea that to have a guy that could consistently get you to the postseason, giving that guy a bunch of money. Giving a guy like Daniel Jones that kind of money, who's proven exactly nothing in his career, that's where I draw the line.
So I think it was until last year, no team had won the Super Bowl with a quarterback eating up 20% of their cap.
Correct.
Patrick Mahomes was the first player to ever do that, to win a Super Bowl while taking – and he could be very well the only one to ever do it. You're right there. I do believe. So the question becomes then, what are these NFL executives doing? What's the plan here?
Many are asking.
What's the plan? If you know that to be a fact, and you're going to give Dak Prescott a giant sum of money when you know that he is not Patrick Mahomes, like, what's your plan? Hope?
I mean, you got
the pieces don't fall into place around that guy well enough.
Because Tony Pollard was pretty good on the ground before the ankle injury this year. You still got a guy in CeeDee Lamb who's giving you a ton. You moved on from Dalton Schultz because you like what you have at tight end. I think we're seeing more of that effect in Kansas City right now than we are in Dallas. And now it's a little bit different because you do have 15 and he is that guy. But we're talking about a team that's leading the league in drops, and a lot of that's because they don't have the salary cap room to go out. They didn't have the room to pay Tyreek Hill. They don't have the room to go out and add a big name wide receiver through free agency. Their tight end is aging. I think it can be done multiple ways. I think saying that the only way to do it is the way that Kansas City is doing it is a little unfair because there only is one Patrick Mahomes. There only is one Andy Reid. And I think we can look at the hiring of Mike McCarthy as kind of the reasoning for the situation Dallas is in, more than giving that contract to Dak Prescott, in my opinion, because you still have Micah Parsons on the defensive side of the ball. You still have, it's not like you don't have superstars in Dallas. To me, it's a coaching thing.
But look at the teams that are winning Super Bowls. It's the teams that have had Patrick Mahomes, Tom Brady, or a quarterback on his rookie deal. Those are the teams that are winning now. This is how it, like the NFL and the way quarterbacks get paid now. This is kind of how you have to do it, and there's almost no way around it. Matt Stafford was an outlier, right? He got a big deal with a second team, but he wasn't getting it done in Detroit with that roster.
Neither was anybody else, though.
Neither was anybody else. But now, Matt Stafford, they've run into salary cap problems in LA too.
They made a big upgraded head coach. I think, man, this is such an interesting debate, but I think it's just a matter of finding the perfect combination. And if you feel like Dak Prescott with the right coach, everything's different. But I don't think you can look at it as a wholesale situation where it's just you either have to have a top 3 quarterback or you have to have somebody on a rookie deal. I think it matters how you match. I think it's more important to find the matchup between the head coach and the quarterback than it is trying to find the right dollar figure.
Yeah. Can I say something like moderately obvious right now?
Please do.
So was that Sunday? I don't know. I was just so happy
Sunday.
all weekend.
Yes, it was Sunday.
So on Sunday, when you're actually like watching that game, I think in the back of my head, I realized that at any point in time, it doesn't matter what happens. The Cowboys could end up coming back and winning this because Dak Prescott, for all the bluster that we're going to have about him and that has been said about him over the past 2 days, he is a feasible quarterback.
Yeah, I mean, he threw for 403 yards.
He is good enough. CeeDee Lamb is a star wide receiver. Jake Ferguson is a great tight end. The problem is Dan Quinn apparently just didn't watch any game film and didn't realize that number 33 is going to run up the middle all game.
Yeah, well, I mean,
and we're not going to send full out blitz half the time on a rookie quarterback in his first playoff game.
I don't know if I put this on Dan Quinn, though. I mean, they put that defense in very precarious situations. It wasn't like Aaron Jones was running for 60 yards every single play. It was Dak Prescott threw an interception, then he threw a pick 6, and they got put behind the 8 ball early. And you didn't really have you had to play from behind. And Matt LaFleur is one of the best, if not the best, offensive schemers for the run game in the NFL. It's a little bit more than Dan Quinn didn't watch film. I put this more on the offense, putting the defense in a bad situation.
Really? Because I've watched every single Packers game this season, and that is the exact same look that they have given every single team the entire season. And you can argue with me if you want to about it.
I will.
But it has been the exact same look. No matter if they've got Jones in the backfield or Dillon in the backfield, the only difference is where they're running them to.
Right, and that comes down to scheme. Like I said, I think it's a matter of you have one of the best scheme. Matt LaFleur, in my opinion, it's between him and Mike McDaniel, and I'm even taking my guy Kyle Shanahan out of this. Are the best? Listen, you can't say, "Hey, we're going to line up and run it here, or we're going to run it here," and you have to stop us without being able to scheme that and give you different looks. And you do have to equate for the way that we can talk about Aaron Jones all we want. We talk about the defense putting guys in bad situations. Jordan Love played the game of his life on Sunday. He went 16-21 for 3 touchdowns on the road in a playoff game.
Like, he had a lot of open wide receivers, though.
Yeah, and a lot of that is to the point where we're talking about scheme, we're talking about run games. You have to set all of that up, and then when Jordan Love is playing like that, you have to equate for the passing game. He went 16-21 against that defense, where we're talking about maybe multiple guys that coach that secondary being somewhere else next year.
I'll give you
it's
another.
Not a matter if they just lined up and ran it.
I'll go a layer deeper on it. Like the Cowboys lost Leighton Vander Esch, right? They have nobody in the middle of that defense who can make a tackle in the open field now. Like Micah Parsons is an edge rusher. He's there to rush the passer.
And that's a lot of the reason that Josh brought this up in Sportsmanlike Conduct, said he was kind of a non-factor. Yeah, because where they were running the ball, they basically circled Micah Parsons and ran the other way.
So they have no one in the middle of that defense to make a tackle in the run game. They're putting players who are essentially converted safeties into the box as linebackers, and they got ran over. Like that's building your team the wrong way. There's more to it than just scheme and not watching film. The defense was not built to play playoff football. They were built to beat up on bad teams, which they did all season. And
the Commanders and the Giants twice.
Yeah, exactly. They play in a division with two awful football teams who can't win to save their lives. So this was all. I mean, I actually picked Dallas to win the game. I don't know why I did that. That was a really dumb thing for me to do.
I think everybody did, though.
But man, it's such a horribly.
People forget our Friday dance said the Packers were winning this game.
It was such a badly built defense to be able to play in the playoffs. In the regular season, when teams are maybe not as committed to running the ball and, they're still working some things out, trying to find their identity, you can win. You can make a lot of splash plays. You're going to make plays in the passing game. You're going to get turnovers. But in the playoffs, when you're playing good teams who have had time to prepare, that are rested, I mean, these things are going to happen when you build a defense that way with nobody in the middle.
This is why I give the Texans a puncher's chance against Baltimore next week, because that defense is built for the playoffs and kind of built to stop the run, and that's exactly what the Ravens love to do. We saw C.J. Stroud and company this weekend obviously take care of business against the Browns in convincing fashion in the very first game when they won 45-14 on their home field. What did you take, John? What did you take away from a rookie quarterback and C.J. Stroud going 16-21 for 3 touchdowns against that vaunted Browns defense?
Yeah, I mean, every time I've been on, I've talked about CJ Stroud and the way he has totally bucked the trend of Ohio State quarterbacks in the NFL. I mean, none of them have been successful at all. None of them have done anything of note. And Justin Fields has gotten a lot of benefit of the doubt for not really accomplishing anything. But I mean, there are no Ohio State quarterbacks that have really made a splash like this. And he's an absolute difference maker. And look, he fits right into the mold of, if it's me as an NFL GM, which I'm clearly not.
He's on a rookie deal.
He's on a rookie deal. They're going to be able to surround him with loads of talented players for the next 4 or 5 years. And look, Houston has a window now with this guy. They could pick up a Super Bowl in the next 4 or 5 years. They are on that trajectory for a team that for the past handful of years has been so awful and has been a laughing stock. To make this quick of a turnaround with just adding this guy, it's so impressive.
I did a little more than that. I mean, that defense has been shored up pretty nicely. I mean, they also got Tank Dell, and I know he's out, but he's been a big part of what they were able to do. And obviously, that run game with Devin Singletary and Dameon Pierce to some degree has obviously been a little bit of a difference maker.
Well, yeah, I mean, obviously, I know that it's not just one guy, but
he's a pretty big part of it, though.
They're not in this spot with Davis Mills.
Amen to that. Hey,
they're not in this spot with Case Keenum.
Speaking of quarterbacks, Nebraska hired its new quarterbacks coach, and we're going to talk about it when we come back. If you missed the opening segment, check it out, SoundCloud.com/afterhours1620. You can stop by one of Caddyshack's great locations tonight. They got 2 of them, 117th in Blondo or 180th in Harrison. It's $1 off every drink in the entire bar tonight. You can also get $17 happy hour domestic bottles at Caddyshack Bar and Grill. It's the official watering hole of After Hours on 1620 The Zone. New QB coach in Lincoln. We're going to break it down when we come back. Hey, everybody, it's Jimmy Allen here for Jerry Ryan Clothing and Sportswear. It's hoop season. If you want to dress like the coaches do, the only place to do so is at Jerry Ryan. Centrally located on 78th and Dodge. You can stop by and get the best of Blue Jay Blue for men and women in brands like Mizzen and Maine, Johnny O, Cutter and Buck. They have it all. Stop by 78th and Dodge. Let Jerry Ryan get you ready for game day. Jerry Ryan's been dressing Omaha for over 50 years.
Your Omaha area forecast from the Godfather's Pizza Weather Center and KETV News Watch 7 on 1620 The Zone.
Mostly clear and bitterly cold tonight. Low temperature dipping back to near zero. Light little southwest breeze. Skies become mostly cloudy on Wednesday. Maybe a few flurries late in the day. High temperature near 20. I'm Chief Meteorologist Bill Ranby from KETV News Watch 7.
The dream of playing the sport you love may be closer than you think. The Bellevue University Athletic Department proudly sports the best scholarship funding among NAIA programs in the state. To compete with the best, we need to recruit the best. All incoming freshmen earn a $5,000 scholarship when they enroll at Bellevue University. Learn more by looking us up at BUBruins.com and reach out to your future coach today.
Hey Jays fans, it's hoop season and you know what that means. Jerry Ryan has the best selection in town for all things Creighton gear. Stop by Jerry Ryan at 78th and Dodge for your quarter zips in all shades of Jays blue, plus jackets, vests, winter coats, you name it. They have it. Multiple Jays options for men and women from Peter Millar, Cutter and Buck, and Johnny O. Stop by Jerry Ryan Clothing and dress like the coaches do.
At Jerry Ryan's, we bring out the best in you.
The temperatures are dropping fast, and Old Man Winter is right around the corner. If your home isn't going to win the battle against the cold this year, let the #1 roofer in Omaha for 12 consecutive years come fight the battle for you. Let Pyramid Roofing come out and replace your gutters, your siding, your windows. They do it all. Give Pyramid a call tonight at 402-502-9300 or check out pyramidroof.com to book a free estimate today. Tell Old Man Winter to take a hike.
PyramidRoof.com, never settle for less.
Get ready, Nebraska. The Omaha Supernovas, your Major League Volleyball team, is set to make history when they kick off Season 1 against the Atlanta Vibe on January 24th at the CHI Health Center. Get ready for world-class volleyball with the Supernovas, boasting a lineup of former national champions and Olympians who can't wait to add to Nebraska's vibrant volleyball culture. Be a part of the volleyball movement that's sweeping the nation and get your tickets today before they're gone. Visit supernovas.com. That's supernovas.com.
Are you ready to elevate your taste buds? Look no further than Pepper Jacks, your go-to destination for bold flavors and endless choices. Dive into their mouth-watering rice bowls, crisp salads, hearty Phillies, savory burritos, and loaded nachos. What sets them apart? Complete customization. Choose your base, proteins, toppings, and sauces for a personalized culinary adventure. At Pepper Jacks, it's not just a meal, it's an experience. Unleash your cravings and savor the bold tastes at Pepper Jacks today. Life's too short for bland. Spice it up at Pepper Jacks.
It's cold, it's windy, you're stuck inside, but not for long. Spring will be here before you know it. And if you want to get off the couch and enjoy the outdoors when the mercury starts to rise, head over to Foresman'sFinest.com today. Let the finest deck builders in the Omaha area come build you an outdoor experience you will love. A deck, a patio with a cover, there isn't much Forsman's can't do. Check out Foresman'sFinest.com and have your dream outdoor experience in 2024.
Graduation season will be here before you know it, and you can have the 402 barbecue truck come to your party or event you're hosting. Stop by the Brick and Mortar on 84th and Spring and try the food. Then, when you get the craving, come back and book the food truck to be the caterer for your event. Graduations, company outings, community events, they do it all. 402 Barbecue at 3027 South 84th Street. Stop by today and grab lunch.
Take your business to the next level. Reach more customers and expand your online presence. Pixel Fire Marketing is here to help. Pixel Fire Marketing creates high-quality professional websites tailored to your business. Their experts are with you every step of the way to make sure your website is visually appealing, user-friendly, and optimized for search engines. They also offer web design, development, hosting, and maintenance. Get started on your website. Visit pixelfiremarketing.com. That's pixelfiremarketing.com now to learn more.
Pro volleyball season is here in Omaha. Chesterman Coca-Cola and Hy-Vee have partnered with the Omaha Supernovas. Right now, when you stop by any Omaha area Hy-Vee and pick up 2 12-packs of Coke, you can get a third one free. Plus, if you need to stay hydrated, do it with the all-new Body Armor Zero Sugar. You can get 10 for just $10. Coke and any Hy-Vee, keeping the Omaha Supernovas super.
You're listening to After Hours with Jimmy Allen on 1620 The Zone.
621 on 1620 The Zone on a Tuesday night. Brought to you by Bellevue University. You can head over to bellevue.edu, register for classes, become a Bruin. Tonight, it's time for the Who Wants to Smoke segment. Nebraska Cornhuskers football team. Matt Rhule has added his quarterback coach to his quarterback room. It's Glenn Thomas, a guy that was on the Pittsburgh Steelers staff for the last couple of seasons. And I think a lot of people would look at the quarterback play of Kenny Pickett and say, how do you go out and hire a coach that coached for the Steelers and look at their quarterback productivity and think that's the hire? I say that's not the case. I really like this hire. I think having a guy that has coached with Matt Rhule, he was at Temple and he was at Baylor, and developed quarterbacks at the collegiate level. I think this is a great get for the staff. What say you, John Schreiner?
Yeah, I honestly had to look him up. Didn't know who he was when I saw the announcement come through. But when I looked into it and saw that he was the quarterback coach under Rhule, who coached Charlie Brewer, my eyes kind of lit up a little bit. I was like, oh, he's that guy. Because Charlie Brewer, I don't know if you remember, he in that season with Matt Rhule at Baylor was phenomenal.
No,
he was lighting up scoreboards.
Yeah, he threw for over 9,000 yards in his time in Waco. And that's, I know it's the Big 12, and obviously defense is optional. But I think this is a guy. There's a difference between coaching in the NFL and coaching at the college level, and I think this is a guy that's proven he could do the latter.
So I texted you when I saw it that I think he made Charlie Brewer into way better of a quarterback than he had any right to be. Like,
because we saw what it was like at Utah and Liberty, and I know the hand injury happened at Liberty, but it did not look the same post Glenn Thomas.
So if this is the guy that's going to come in and be the primary trainer for Dylan Raiola, how can you not be excited about that? This looks like a great hire. And I mean, look, I don't know that they could have done much better, honestly. I mean, who else would you want than this guy?
Well, and obviously there's the discussion out there about what happens with Dana Holgorsen now, and he's still on the back burner, and I think that's pretty close to being a done deal. I'd be surprised if we don't hear that come to fruition in the next couple of days, as early as that. But I really feel like there's this misconception of what Dana Holgorsen is going to be when he comes to Lincoln, and it really feels like a stopgap year for Dana Holgorsen. He just wants to be around football and be around what looks to be a very promising quarterback to kind of put his fingerprints all over it. And I think he does that in an analyst role. And I know a lot of people wanted him to be hands-on on game day. And when you have one of the best offensive minds of the last 10 years, it'd be hard pressed to not understand that. I just don't think that's what Dana Holgorsen wants. And for a long-term plan for this staff, I think having this be a place where coaches can come get their feet wet and get back into the head coaching ranks isn't necessarily a bad problem to have if you're Nebraska.
Well, with Holgorsen, I don't think that it's necessarily a done deal, because I imagine that he's still fielding calls to be someone's OC. Like there's teams out there who are changing coaches who are going to need a new offensive coordinator. I mean, the coaching carousel spins as it does. So I am sure that he is fielding calls about being an offensive coordinator somewhere, which is, I mean, maybe that's what he wants to do. Who knows? I don't know him. I don't know what he's thinking. But if those opportunities are out there, he's probably waiting to see, like, okay, is there a better opportunity for me to go be an OC somewhere? And if none of those are as enticing as he would want them to be, then he probably does come to Lincoln as an analyst and, take that gap year and not spend quite as much time working. It's almost a pseudo vacation.
Sure. Well, while you're getting a fat paycheck from the Houston Cougars, by the way.
Yeah. So, and then he can, take it a little easy for a year and then, get his head right and hopefully get a job somewhere else next year. I imagine that's the play. But I think it's not off the table that he's somebody's offensive coordinator in the upcoming season.
Josh Peterson and I were talking about this on USC. Do you think Nebraska adds another quarterback? Whether it be the transfer portal, well, obviously it would have to be at this point, through the transfer portal for next season?
Yeah, I think if that happens, it's going to be after spring ball. I think that there may be somebody out there who is eligible for a grad transfer that isn't going to get the job after spring ball and is going to see the writing on the wall and might want to go somewhere, like I've said before, to sort of propel them into a coaching career or something of that nature. So I don't know. It's tough to make the numbers work, but there are the NIL scholarships, the not scholarship players that you can have now. So I'm leaning towards no at this point. I just feel like you're going to be hard pressed to find someone who's going to come in to the situation who is experienced, that is going to just know right off the jump that they're going to be sitting behind Dylan Raiola. So I think it's a tough ask. But if there's somebody out there who wants to just get an extra year and maybe head into the coaching ranks afterwards, that's probably the guy you're looking at.
A guy we can ask about that is Brian Munson from Husker Online, who joins us next. If you missed the Who Wants to Smoke segment, check it out. SoundCloud.com/afterhour1620 was brought to you by 402 Barbecue. You can stop by 3027 South 84th Street Monday through Saturday from 11 to 6. Try my personal favorite. It's the Cadillac sandwich. It's brisket. It's pork. It's topped off with the world famous smoked mac and cheese. Make sure you mention Kelly and team. You heard about them on After Hours. She's going to throw in a free soda with a purchase and the mention of our show. It's 402 Barbecue, 3027 South 84th Street. Stop by tomorrow and grab lunch. We'll be right back talking to Brian Munson about Nebraska football recruiting here on 1620 The Zone.
Hey everyone, Dan Campion here for Pyramid Roofing. Does it get a little drafty in your house? Is your roof leaking? Do your windows need to be replaced before Old Man Winter shows up? The number one roofer in Omaha for 12 straight years. Come and take care of your roof, windows, gutters, or siding. They do it all. Call Pyramid at 402-502-9300 or check out pyramidroof.com to book a free estimate today.
Are you looking to be part of a winning tradition? The Bellevue University Bruins could be the right fit for you. Whether on the court or on the field, track or course, our student athletes strive and succeed. This year, Bellevue teams and individuals have combined to win 11 conference championships, with 8 teams qualifying for their national tournaments. Plus, nearly 50 student athletes were also named to all conference teams. Find out more about our tradition of excellence at BUBruins.com.
Did that trash or recycling truck roll by your house without stopping again? Hi, I'm Megan with Papillion Sanitation. At Papillion Sanitation, trash and recycling is our passion. From residential to commercial, we've cleaned up Omaha and surrounding areas for more than 30 years. So if your home or business needs reliable, friendly trash or recycle service, check out papillion-sanitation.com today and see how our customer service and professionalism can't be matched. Head over to papillion-sanitation.com to upgrade your trash or recycling service today.
Get ready, Nebraska. The Omaha Supernovas, your Major League Volleyball team, is set to make history when they kick off Season 1 against the Atlanta Vibe on January 24th at the CHI Health Center. Get ready for world-class volleyball with the Supernovas, boasting a lineup of former national champions and Olympians who can't wait to add to Nebraska's vibrant volleyball culture. Be a part of the volleyball movement that's sweeping the nation and get your tickets today before they're gone. Visit supernovas.com. That's supernovas.com.
Are you ready to elevate your taste buds? Look no further than Pepper Jacks, your go-to destination for bold flavors and endless choices. Dive into their mouth-watering rice bowls, crisp salads, hearty Phillies, savory burritos, and loaded nachos. What sets them apart? Complete customization. Choose your base, proteins, toppings, and sauces for a personalized culinary adventure. At Pepper Jacks, it's not just a meal, it's an experience. Unleash your cravings and savor the bold tastes at Pepper Jacks today. Life's too short for bland. Spice it up at Pepper Jacks.
Take your business to the next level. Reach more customers and expand your online presence. Pixel Fire Marketing is here to help. Pixel Fire Marketing creates high-quality professional websites tailored to your business. Their experts are with you every step of the way to make sure your website is visually appealing, user-friendly, and optimized for search engines. They also offer web design, development, hosting, and maintenance. Get started on your website. Visit pixelfiremarketing.com. That's pixelfiremarketing.com now to learn more.
Going Vertical Basketball Academy is the premier sports performance training facility in the Midwest. Working with athletes as young as kindergarten all the way to college and the pros, GVBA offers a variety of packages from individual workouts to group sessions. They also offer elite-level sports performance training for athletes of all sports. Check out the Academy at 10700 Sapp Brothers Drive in Omaha or at goingverticalomaha.com. That's goingverticalomaha.com.
The temperatures are dropping fast, and Old Man Winter is right around the corner. If your home isn't going to win the battle against the cold this year, let the #1 roofer in Omaha for 12 consecutive years come fight the battle for you. Let Pyramid Roofing come out and replace your gutters, your siding, your windows. They do it all. Give Pyramid a call tonight at 402-502-9300 or check out pyramidroof.com to book a free estimate today. Tell Old Man Winter to take a hike.
PyramidRoof.com, never settle for less.
Pro volleyball season is here in Omaha. Chesterman Coca-Cola and Hy-Vee have partnered with the Omaha Supernovas. Right now, when you stop by any Omaha area Hy-Vee and pick up 2 12-packs of Coke, you can get a third one free. Plus, if you need to stay hydrated, do it with the all-new Body Armor Zero Sugar. You can get 10 for just $10. Coke and any Hy-Vee, keeping the Omaha Supernovas super.
It's cold, it's windy, you're stuck inside, but not for long. Spring will be here before you know it. And if you want to get off the couch and enjoy the outdoors when the mercury starts to rise, head over to Foresman'sFinest.com today. Let the finest deck builders in the Omaha area come build you an outdoor experience you will love. A deck, a patio with a cover, there isn't much Forsman's can't do. Check out Foresman'sFinest.com and have your dream outdoor experience in 2024.
Now back to After Hours with Jimmy Allen on 1620 The Zone.
What's happening? What's happening? Hey, it's your boy Lil Jon.
6:33 on a Tuesday night here on 1620 The Zone. Jimmy Allen, John Schreiner, Dan Campion with you. Joined now by Husker Online Zone, Brian Munson from Texas. Munson, how'd you not end up in Honolulu with everybody else?
Dude, tell me about it. Like they were, Sean was very secretive about these logistics and the actually how inexpensive I think actually it was to travel out there. I mean, in fairness, I just got back from San Antonio. I'll be up there in the motherland next month to cover the 2 in-state tours that will be going in Omaha and Lincoln.
Can we finally get you in studio after 4 years?
Man. Well, it depends, dude. Actually, you know what? I think I will be spending a majority of my time in Omaha.
Now you have no excuse.
So that probably seems like more of a possibility this time around. I think this time last year was the first time I had a chance to go to a Creighton game. That's when I saw you.
That's right. Have you ever actually been in these studios? I know you obviously have done multiple shows on the station.
I have.
Have you? Okay.
I way back in the day with Mr. Baugh.
You just don't like me enough. I see how it is. Okay, that's fine. That's fine. That's fine.
What, it was so. He didn't even, long story short, wasn't even expecting me. I walked the door. He kind of looks at me, kind of does like a little sit back stares, like, what the heck are you doing here? We were just ready to call you. And I was like, dude, I told you I was coming to Omaha. He's like, I totally forgot. So,
all right. Well, I'm holding you to it in the fall. You got to come in.
Well, no, it'll be in November, probably like the week or 2 after the Super Bowl.
All right. That means you got 10 months. Wait, November?
No, in February.
February, okay. I was like,
in November?
Yeah, you said November. That's not when the Super Bowl happens.
My wife walks by. I'm always just, whenever I see her, I just know that her birthday's in November.
That's nice. Nice. All right,
nice save, Brian.
Let's talk Nebraska football recruiting. Obviously, a big piece of the puzzle has been added with the hiring of Glenn Thomas. What do you make of the former Matt Rule protege / NFL guy being added to the staff?
Well, it makes a lot of sense. I mean, he's spent time with him at Temple and obviously at Baylor. They had a tremendous run in Waco together, and he's been kind of off then, I think, afterwards, doing his own thing, Arizona State to Pittsburgh. I think this is actually, it was a familiar name to me. I think that when we were throwing around offensive coordinators the last year of Scott Frost's time there in Lincoln, I think that this was a name that was thrown out along with Mark Whipple, that was kind of being pitted against one another to kind of figure out, which way was the best way to go. And obviously that wasn't a very good way, the way that they decided to go, but that's neither here nor there. I think that this is a great fit. I don't think that Satterfield ever really truly planned on coaching quarterbacks. I think that's been kind of out there. I think moving the tight ends is a good move. You had Martin that kind of stepped up to take on the interim role last year after the incident with Bob Wagner. I think that Martin obviously gets retained probably to help out, with Satterfield at tight ends. I think that there's another potential rule change coming in to maybe expand the assistant coach staff by another coach incrementally. That could make some sense then to kind of keep, Martin at tight end for the hope of then him becoming the tight end position coach, to where Satterfield then is just the offensive coordinator and kind of sees that whole entire side of the football. And then again, there's still talk about Dana Holgerson and how does that all kind of fit and come together. But I think that the Glenn Thomas hire is a slam dunk. It's really a great hire for Matt Rhule in Nebraska.
I'm interested to get your take on this one, Brian. There's been some talk about coaching staffs in college football. And since we're on the subject, there's been some talk about expanding coaching staffs in college football, adding more on-field coaches to the staffs. And I don't know, where do you sit on that? Is that a need? Is that something that would improve the game in a drastic way for players and programs?
I think the span of control is always something very interesting to kind of take a look at. And I think that the way that some guys, so let me back up. Special teams coordinator is becoming a more popular position around the country. And that is traditionally taking away one of those full-time position coaches that, you get. Like, it's like the head coach plus 9, right? You get 10 full-time coaches, on the field coaches. And I think by kind of having that special team coordinator, and special team coordinators, they're a different breed. I've talked to a couple of them. They get excited about that because, they're no longer just position guys. They get a chance to touch just about everybody on the team when it comes to their periods, that they get during the practices. So that being said, I think that, with that kind of specialty type of coordinator position, skilled, the specialist coordinator, I think that kind of then takes that span of control and kind of throws it all out of whack a little bit. You also have guys that are double tagged, like Satterfield sitting there as an offensive coordinator and the tight ends coach. You've also got some guys that split time between, being a recruiting coordinator or special assistant to the head coach or what other, and that's always been one of these huge selling points for a coach to, present to a recruit. So if you're a recruit, for example, and I come to you and I say, well, I'm a tight ends coach versus I'm the tight ends coach and the offensive coordinator, or I'm the tight ends coach and the recruiting coordinator, or whatever the case may be, as I keep going on and on with more examples. I think that there's always creative ways to kind of show more importance, particularly when it comes to the title of the coach that's coming out there to spend time with you and show interest in you. So that's also kind of spread some things a little differently across the tasks and the roles of the coaching staffs around the country. But I think that this is a great move. I think you want to have more hands-on. I think that there obviously is a line, because you start coming into those haves and the have-nots. You've already have some coaching staffs that are already making buku bucks and other guys that could never afford to pay that type of money to other coaches. to any of their coaches. But I think that this would be a great move because I think that Span of Control is in need of it, mainly because you've taken that one guy out for the growing trend of special teams coordinators around the country.
Brian Mutzer from Husker Online and On3 joins us here on After Hours. We joked about it, but obviously the Polynesian Bowl is happening right now with our guys Steve Sipple and Sean Callahan out there in attendance to check out Carter Nelson and Dylan Raiola. Obviously, we saw a lot of the highlights. Dylan Raiola had that 72-yard bomb in the arm strength competition. How big is it for Nebraska to be getting this much free press right now?
It's huge. I mean, I think that people need to understand. I think that the country needs to see how live of an arm, Dylan Raiola has. So I think that this is a huge recruiting kind of platform, essentially, to get this out there about how effortlessly he throws the ball. And he was just whipping it on the out routes today from the coverage that I saw, as well as on top of the 72-yard, kind of Hail Mary down the field, which demonstrates, again, that arm strength. And I think that it's obviously very critical when you start talking about this as a 17-year-old kid, a five-star prospect, potentially, the starting quarterback for Nebraska this fall. And I think that you have to demonstrate that he has those types of physical tools to where, you can kind of sit there and think about how really impressive he is physically, to where he could potentially be one of those generational type of talent guys, when you start talking about that's the guy that you got. And this is a guy that kind of how his career started at Nebraska, with 5 games or 6 games to kind of cut his teeth. And then all of a sudden he was into, the kind of the meat of the season. So this is a very interesting storyline as it takes flight for him. But I think that this is a huge tactic, obviously, to get those kind of clips out there, because he won't be in Lincoln this weekend to help recruit the high number of wide receivers that'll be there in Lincoln for Junior Day. So you got to get this publicity out some other way for all of them to see it.
I wanted to ask you a question about the 25 class, specifically here in the Omaha metro area. Christian Jones is a guy that we've known about since he was a freshman at Omaha Burke, and he's got offers from all over. Have you heard anything new about Christian Jones, or is this kind of a quiet period? What's the skinny on the big outside backer from West Side?
Remind me again, who is that guy? No,
good one.
I think I started talking to Christian when he was a freshman in high school, and I think that he thought I was crazy. I think he was one of 2 freshmen starting on that Burke varsity team as that season, and obviously has made the move over to West Side, and now he's an All-American. He's running 100-meter sprints in track time. I mean, like we needed any other kind of reminders of how talented he was.
Yeah,
you get it at every turn with him. He's incredible. The new news is that, so far, I don't think any decisions have been made right now as far as him coming down to Lincoln for Junior Day this month. I did pass some text messages with him, I guess it was a week or 2 ago, where he kind of delivered me that news. And I think that that's fair. I think where, people are kind of at right now, I think this recruiting calendar is really kind of resettling. You would typically have hosted, mainly 2024 guys, last weekend, this coming weekend, kind of trying to drive those last requirements into your 2024 class before signing day in February. Now Nebraska maybe has just like one loose end with maybe that junior college defensive tackle that picked up an offer, last weekend. And realistically, this is an ideal time to kind of get things going with the 2025 group. It's a great substitution for the staff too, because they move away from having the 2.5, 3 days with the guys that are 2024. Yeah. And now you just have a 1-day deal where you just got to kind of go all in on those 2025s for a single Saturday. So I think things are going to start heating up between Nebraska and Christian Jones, and Nebraska really likes him as a guy that can be an inside or an outside linebacker.
Mutzer, we appreciate it. We'll catch up with you next week. We'll talk more 2025. We'll have highlights from Dylan Raiola's trip out to Hawaii and a whole lot more. We appreciate you.
Let's go Buffalo. See ya.
It's Brian Munson from Husker Online and On3. You can follow his work at @BrianMunson_ on Twitter. Always pick up a subscription to HuskerOnline.com as well. If you missed Brian's segment tonight, you can check it out at SoundCloud.com/AfterHours1620. It's brought to you by Going Vertical Omaha. Going Vertical is the premier training facility in the Midwest, working with athletes as young as kindergarten all the way up to the pros. GVBA offers a variety of packages from individual workouts to group lessons. They also offer elite level sports performance training to athletes of all sports. Check out the academy at GoingVerticalOmaha.com tonight. Dan Campion tells us what's trending on social media. We come back at 1620 The Zone. Hey everyone, it's Jimmy Allen here for Pepper Jack's Grill. If you still got a little bit of a tummy ache from lunch and just didn't get full enough from what you had earlier in the day, there's no better option than one of the 10 great locations of Pepper Jack's Grill. I usually get a steak rice bowl, throw a little bit of shrimp in there, grilled onions, grilled mushrooms, grilled green peppers. You can't beat it. Throw some spicy ranch on top. Call it dinner. It's Pepper Jack's Grill. 10 great locations. Stop by tonight. Grab yourself some dinner.
The dream of playing the sport you love may be closer than you think. The Bellevue University Athletic Department proudly sports the best scholarship funding among NAIA programs in the state. To compete with the best, we need to recruit the best. All incoming freshmen earn a $5,000 scholarship when they enroll at Bellevue University. Learn more by looking us up at BUBruins.com and reach out to your future coach today.
There's never been a better time to choose a new career path than right now. Hi, I'm Tracy with Papillion Sanitation. If you're at a point in your life where you want a career and not a job, Papillion Sanitation is the place for you. From 401k options to opportunities for career advancement, come make Papillion Sanitation your future. Check out papillion-sanitation.com today to apply and make a change for the better. Papillion Sanitation, equal opportunity employer.
Get ready, Nebraska. The Omaha Supernovas, your Major League Volleyball team, is set to make history when they kick off Season 1 against the Atlanta Vibe on January 24th at the CHI Health Center. Get ready for world-class volleyball with the Supernovas, boasting a lineup of former national champions and Olympians who can't wait to add to Nebraska's vibrant volleyball culture. Be a part of the volleyball movement that's sweeping the nation and get your tickets today before they're gone. Visit supernovas.com. That's supernovas.com.
Are you ready to elevate your taste buds? Look no further than Pepper Jack's, your go-to destination for bold flavors and endless choices. Dive into their mouth-watering rice bowls, crisp salads, hearty Phillies, savory burritos, and loaded nachos. What sets them apart? Complete customization. Choose your base, proteins, toppings, and sauces for a personalized culinary adventure. At Pepper Jack's, it's not just a meal, it's an experience. Unleash your cravings and savor the bold tastes at Pepper Jack's today. Life's too short for bland. Spice it up at Pepper Jack's.
It's cold, it's windy, you're stuck inside, but not for long. Spring will be here before you know it. And if you want to get off the couch and enjoy the outdoors when the mercury starts to rise, head over to Foresman'sFinest.com today. Let the finest deck builders in the Omaha area come build you an outdoor experience you will love. A deck, a patio with a cover, there isn't much Foresman's can't do. Check out Foresman'sFinest.com and have your dream outdoor experience in 2024.
Graduation season will be here before you know it, and you can have the 402 barbecue truck come to your party or event you're hosting. Stop by the Brick and Mortar on 84th and Spring and try the food. Then, when you get the craving, come back and book the food truck to be the caterer for your event. Graduations, company outings, community events, they do it all. 402 Barbecue at 3027 South 84th Street. Stop by today and grab lunch.
Take your business to the next level. Reach more customers and expand your online presence. Pixel Fire Marketing is here to help. Pixel Fire Marketing creates high-quality professional websites tailored to your business. Their experts are with you every step of the way to make sure your website is visually appealing, user-friendly, and optimized for search engines. They also offer web design, development, hosting, and maintenance. Get started on your website. Visit pixelfiremarketing.com. That's pixelfiremarketing.com now to learn more.
When you think Caddyshack, you think about an unforgettable dining experience. Stop in for Meatloaf Monday for just $10.95. Tuesdays are all about the happy with dollar drinks during all-day happy hour. Celebrate a Wing Wednesday with after hours. Thursday is spaghetti night for $10.95 a plate. Or grab some lunch on Fridays with the $12.95 hot beef sandwich. Caddyshack, 2 great locations off of 117th and Blondo and 180th and Harrison. The official watering hole of After Hours on 1620 The Zone.
Are you a living, breathing human being? If so, you're someone who would benefit tremendously from the non-invasive therapies at West Omaha Cryo. Their facility is equipped with whole body cryo, red light, hyperbaric oxygen, infrared sauna, and pneumatic compression. Each therapy offers its own unique profile of health benefits that'll leave you feeling better than ever. And for a limited time, they're offering listeners an unlimited 1-week trial membership for just $39. Head on over to westocryo.com/afterhours to claim your offer.
You are listening to After Hours with Jimmy Allen on 1620 The Zone.
Put a bow on the first hour here on 1620 The Zone, brought to you by Bellevue University. You can head over to bellevue.edu, register for classes. You can also download the BU Bruins app on your smartphone to keep up to date on all things Bellevue athletics. Jimmy Allen, John Schreiner, Dan Campen with you on 1620 The Zone for next hour 9. Dan Campen is going to tell us what's trending on social media right now, however.
Well, so this is trending because I don't know if the other thing that I was going to bring up is trending, but let's just go with this. And I'm going to keep my finger over the dump button because I forgot to clear this before.
All right. Oh, yeah. Yeah, pause this. Pause this. There's a lot of F-bombs that come in about the next 12 seconds.
I only got the 15-second long clip.
Yeah.
And it was going to, so first off, it was going to be, I think Mike Tomlin has said that he's going to be retained as the Pittsburgh coach.
He said he would like to come back next year. He didn't say he was going to be retained. Yes.
And then it was going to be one Nick Sirianni getting a bucket of popcorn dumped on his head. But in true Philly fan fashion, right after they dump the bucket of popcorn and say, "Hey, Nick," they drop about 7 to 12 F-bombs right in a row.
Yeah.
and then perfect Philly vernacular.
And then ran from security too, by the way.
Wins. Soft.
The cheese has come off the steak in Philadelphia.
Can you explain to the listeners at home what the social media soundbite was, though?
Yes. Everybody knows that there's nothing better than winning a playoff football game. And I think nothing is sweeter than Jared Goff's dad picking him up in his truck from the players' tunnel and driving him home.
Yeah. Maybe one of the best redemption stories in all of the National Football League. When we talk about Jared Goff in that Super Bowl and everything that was said about him after communication was able to be cut off and the divorce from Sean McVay and all of that, to turn around and see him basically be the afterthought in the Matthew Stafford trade and then see him beat that same team in Detroit is just such a cool moment and a great moment for those Detroit fans too.
Yeah, it's not something we get to see very often, right? When a young quarterback gets thrown to the wolves.
I thought you were talking about Detroit Lions playoff wins.
Well, we don't get to see that very often either. Yeah. But yeah, when a young quarterback gets cast off, they usually don't come back. Like that's the end for most of them.
Guys that were the number 1 overall pick too. And
certainly.
I think they forgot about.
So yeah, this is a rare thing that we're getting to see with Jared Goff right here. I mean, it's something that just almost never happens. You don't turn it around in your career like that. It's such a hard thing to do.
Maybe it's just because me and my father don't have that relationship. It's weird that he got picked up by his dad, though, right? I think it's awesome. I just think it's a bit odd.
So it's a little bit odd. I will give it that. But I mean, I've got different father issues, and it'd be nice to have my dad pick me up from a game if I was still if I was playing professional football.
Poll question: does Dan Campen have daddy issues now?
I'll put it up there. See how many people actually know me on this show.
There you go.
We do have one more thing, and I know. Well,
do we have multiple social media soundbites?
We don't, but do we want to save it for buy or sell because it's about that Detroit game? And I wanted
let's get into it right here.
Okay, so then early buy or sell question: buy or sell it being appropriate to boo your former quarterback as they take the field?
I think it's inappropriate not to boo them. They don't play for you. And I know Lions fan. This is why it was so dumb for Lions fans to be all in on the Matthew Stafford train. Because, hey, what happens if you get good? I know that's hard for some Detroit Lions fans to fathom, but that's why I was kind of all out on the, hey, we got to hang a banner for Matthew Stafford Super Bowl in.
Well, I mean, I don't mind them cheering for Matthew Stafford. He played there for a bunch of years, gave him the best years of his career for the most part.
You don't cheer him on your field, though.
No, but when he comes back in the playoffs to play on your home field, yeah, you're getting booed, buddy. Like, it's totally appropriate.
Also, buy or sell Kelly Stafford not being a liar, and someone actually booed those kids.
Okay, that's where I draw the line. I mean, I don't think that there's never a reason to take it out on somebody's family.
And real quick, let's be just like 100% fair to both sides of this story. I'm 100% sure that they booed Matt Stafford. That is on the record.
Yeah, it's on video.
You could hear that. It was a legitimate video from the opening of the game. Kelly Stafford in the past has lied about quite a few things and has overreacted.
Has she?
All the time, quite a bit, almost once a year, about something that her husband does or something that their organization is involved in. And I don't believe Kelly Stafford one bit. Those kids did not get.
I have been in Arrowhead Stadium and seen a grown man throw a beer in the face of like an 8 to 9-year-old child. I've seen it happen. So,
but Kansas Arrowhead Stadium's a different universe.
This is Detroit, bro. I would tend to agree with you, but we're talking about Detroit, Michigan.
But Detroit fans aren't known for being that.
No, they're not. And if you actually, so legitimately, and this is, Dane's wearing blue. He's going to nerd out for the Lions fans real quick here. So the majority of people who actually go to Lions games are from Macomb County.
Mm-hmm.
If you don't know where Macomb County is, it's like the second richest county in all of Michigan. Oh, and by the way, it's a lot of people from Oakland County too. If you know where Oakland County is, that is the first richest county in.
We hear a lot about Oakland County on election night.
Yes, you do.
Because
they are the swing county.
Let me take this finger right here and point at the calendar to November 19th, 2004.
The Malice at the Palace.
Maybe ask
Okay.
me what happened on that day.
The Malice at the Palace. I get it. But Detroit
These are the
football
same people.
fans are not known for being that.
That's Auburn Hills.
Because they're never there. This trust me. I would be surprised. I wouldn't be surprised if it happened, but Detroit's not exactly, it's not Philadelphia, but it's not the most easygoing group of people either.
Oh,
All questions. Is it okay to boo kids? Boo them kids.
Kansas City fans, Philly fans, Raiders fans. There are a number of fan bases in the NFL that are far worse than Detroit.
Yeah, I mean, nothing good happens in NFL stadiums. Can we just agree on that?
Yeah. And to be fair, I mean, I've gone to a Raiders game before and they play tackle football in the parking lot. And they take it overly seriously. So
It's a black hole for a reason, baby.
I mean, they're not afraid of a little blood on the field, not afraid of a little blood off the
We
field.
will get to the on-time buy or sell segment in the next after the next break. If you missed that segment, check it out. SoundCloud.com/after-hours1620 was brought to you by Pixel Fire Marketing. If your business needs help with social media marketing, online advertising, or website design, Pixel Fire Marketing is here to help. Their social media experts will ignite your social media presence, entice your ideal client, and engage your brand online today. Check out pixelfiremarketing.com for more information. Dan DeSalvia and his crew are right here in Omaha. Be more than happy to help you out. We'll be right back. Buying or selling here on 1620 Zone.
Hey everyone, it's Dan Campanen here for Forsman's Finest Decks. Cooler temperatures are here. If your house suffers from naked house syndrome, dress it up. Let the finest deck builders in Omaha come build you a deck, put a cover on it, and add that something that your house has been missing. Head over to forsmansfinest.com and book your dream deck to be built this winter. Forsman's Finest Decks, building the finest decks in Omaha.
Are you looking to be part of a winning tradition? The Bellevue University Bruins could be the right fit for you. Whether on the court or on the field, track or course, our student athletes strive and succeed. This year, Bellevue teams and individuals have combined to win 11 conference championships, with 8 teams qualifying for their national tournaments. Plus, nearly 50 student athletes were also named to all conference teams. Find out more about our tradition of excellence at BUBruins.com.
Did that trash or recycling truck roll by your house without stopping again? Hi, I'm Megan with Papillion Sanitation. At Papillion Sanitation, trash and recycling is our passion. From residential to commercial, we've cleaned up Omaha and surrounding areas for more than 30 years. So if your home or business needs reliable, friendly trash or recycle service, check out papillion-sanitation.com today and see how our customer service and professionalism can't be matched. Head over to papillion-sanitation.com to upgrade your trash or recycling service today.
Get ready, Nebraska! The Omaha Supernovas, your Major League Volleyball team, is set to make history when they kick off Season 1 against the Atlanta Vibe on January 24th at the CHI Health Center. Get ready for world-class volleyball with the Supernovas boasting a lineup of former national champions and Olympians who can't wait to add to Nebraska's vibrant volleyball culture. Be a part of the volleyball movement that's sweeping the nation and get your tickets today before they're gone. Visit supernovas.com. That's supernovas.com.
Are you ready to elevate your taste buds? Look no further than Pepper Jacks, your go-to destination for bold flavors and endless choices. Dive into their mouth-watering rice bowls, crisp salads, hearty Phillies, savory burritos, and loaded nachos. What sets them apart? Complete customization. Choose your base, proteins, toppings, and sauces for a personalized culinary adventure. At Pepper Jacks, it's not just a meal, it's an experience. Unleash your cravings and savor the bold tastes at Pepper Jacks today. Life's too short for bland. Spice it up at Pepper Jacks.
Graduation season will be here before you know it, and you can have the 402 barbecue truck come to your party or event you're hosting. Stop by the brick and mortar on 84th and Spring and try the food. Then, when you get the craving, come back and book the food truck to be the caterer for your event. Graduations, company outings, community events, they do it all. 402 Barbecue at 3027 South 84th Street. Stop by today and grab lunch.
Pro volleyball season is here in Omaha. Chesterman Coca-Cola and Hy-Vee have partnered with the Omaha Supernovas. Right now, when you stop by any Omaha area Hy-Vee and pick up 2 12-packs of Coke, you can get a third one free. Plus, if you need to stay hydrated, do it with the all-new Body Armor Zero Sugar. You can get 10 for just $10. Coke and any Hy-Vee, keeping the Omaha Supernovas super.
Going Vertical Basketball Academy is the premier sports performance training facility in the Midwest. Working with athletes as young as kindergarten all the way to college and the pros, GVBA offers a variety of packages from individual workouts to group sessions. They also offer elite-level sports performance training for athletes of all sports. Check out the Academy at 10700 Sap Brothers Drive in Omaha or at goingverticalomaha.com. That's goingverticalomaha.com.
Hey Jays fans, it's hoop season and you know what that means. Jerry Ryan has the best selection in town for all things Creighton gear. Stop by Jerry Ryan at 78th and Dodge for your quarter zips in all shades of Jays blue, plus jackets, vest, winter coats, you name it. They have it. Multiple Jays options for men and women from Peter Millar, Cutter and Buck, and Johnny O. Stop by Jerry Ryan Clothing and dress like the coaches do.
At Jerry Ryan's, we bring out the best in you.
When you think Caddyshack, you think about an unforgettable dining experience. Stop in for Meatloaf Monday for just $10.95. Tuesdays are all about the happy with dollar drinks during all-day happy hour. Celebrate a Wing Wednesday with after hours. Thursday is spaghetti night for $10.95 a plate. Or grab some lunch on Fridays with the $12.95 hot beef sandwich. Caddyshack. 2 great locations off of 117th and Blondo and 180th and Harrison. The official watering hole of After Hours on 1620 The Zone.
Tickets for less. Best seats, best prices, no service fees. Shop ticketsforless.com. KOZN Bellevue, Omaha, Council Bluffs. This is 1620 The Zone.
O'clock on a Tuesday night here on 1620 Zone, brought to you by Papillion Sanitation. If you're looking for a new career, Papillion Sanitation can help you out. It's a $10,000 stick-around bonus if you become a driver, where you can buy things like we're about to do here on 1620 Zone. Dan?
But you cannot sell them.
That's true. Well,
I mean, technically.
You can do anything you want at your job at least one time.
Don't sell your employer's trucks. Don't do that.
Yeah, it's a bad look.
That would be bad, considering how much they talk about how much they like those trucks in the commercial that we play constantly.
And if you do that, don't tell them After Hours sent you.
That's true.
Yes, actually, Good point.
What a company man John Schreiner is.
Well, and speaking of John Schreiner and speaking to John Schreiner, you got what you wanted, John. More chaos in college basketball. Even though it was baby chaos, we had number 2 Houston fall to TCU, and I believe Texas A&M beat their team over the weekend. I forgot to write that one in the lineup for it. But buy or sell, this being anyone's year to win that national championship.
I root for chaos, but I'm not dumb. It is never anyone's year to win. There's a handful of teams who can win it in a given year, and this year's no different. It might be wild on the way to the title, but no, I'm selling that. It's not anyone's to win.
I'm selling it too. I mean, there's just so much, not even just chaos, but chaos at the quote unquote top, right? I mean, I think we're at the point in the season where, listen, bumps and bruises are starting to show up. You're starting to see who's got the depth and who doesn't. And I think this happened last year, effects are starting to wear off, and you can stop reading your press clippings and kind of, it's time to dig in your heels and find out who your team is, whoever you may be rooting for.
Yeah. And speaking of digging their heels in this weekend, do we want to talk about Creighton's win at all?
Yeah, sure. Absolutely.
Because that was, I think, the second or third loudest I have ever heard that stadium in my entire life. It was quite literally one that I did not think that they were going to hang on to win. And they barely did. That was a fingernail kind of win right there.
Yeah, it was got to have it game too.
And you can argue that the majority of these going forward are in that situation. Obviously, when you look at playing the number 1 team in the country coming up tomorrow night, what you need to see out of Creighton is consistency. And that's what this team's kind of been lacking up until this point. And like I just said in my last statement there, it's time to forget about last year and start looking ahead to what you have this year. And what Creighton has done this year is lost those games that we were just talking about. They lost a similar game to Villanova just a few weeks ago and Marquette. And they were able to kind of dig into what they have and go back to old reliable and get number 11 involved in the offense to seal this game. I think that's what you need going forward, is more productivity out of Ryan Kalkbrenner.
Indeed. All right, moving on, because I do want to bring this one up. A lot has been made about 2 separate plays yesterday from that Bills game. The slide, and as I like to call it, the Finstone feet fake slide. Ooh, I put too many F's in there.
Flintstone.
Yes, from Josh Allen. Buy or sell the slide needing to be defined or redefined by the NFL?
And I brought this up in USC, but I think we're heading in a direction. I think it does, because if you're going to penalize defenders for it, you need to have more of a definition of what it is and put it in the official's hands to stop the play. I think we'll see a situation where if a quarterback's progress is stopped from going forward, that's where they'll blow the whistle and call it dead. Now, that's going to irritate some people, and it's going to be more of a judgment call, which is exactly what we want the officials to have with games on the line. But it's such an anomaly, though, because you only have a handful of guys that are running threats, that this is very rarely an issue. And this is not the reason the Pittsburgh Steelers lost this game. But I think we're looking at the officials this needs to be put in the hands of the official to blow this play dead if they think a quarterback's giving themselves up.
Here's my thing. Is I saw on Twitter last night a lot of people going, "Oh, Josh Allen did the Kenny Pickett fake slide." I don't think he did. It didn't look like that. It didn't look like that to me at all. It looked like he was indecisive about which way to cut behind his blocker. Then he made a choice and kept running. I didn't think it was a fake slide at all. So I think there's much over muchness about this whole thing. It's a non-issue to me. I think a lot of people were complaining about it as fans rather than looking at the play and saying, okay, what actually happened? I don't think it was anything.
Yeah, and if you look at it from the all-22 angle, I agree with you. A lot of people are looking at it from the TV angle only, to where he kind of does that juke step, and I guess I can see
he slows way down.
Yeah, and that's all he did. But I think people are upset because looking at it from the way the way the rule is written, to where they're giving themselves up, may look at that as a quarterback giving themselves up. The difference is in the situation, Josh Allen's a runner and is about 11 yards downfield. So yeah, I agree with you.
All right, and then I do have one more quick follow-up question, because I just thought about this. On the one where he actually slid, guy from Pittsburgh, gets the laundry thrown at him, was that a clean hit in the two of your opinions?
No, because he actually gave himself up, and that's the difference. Is
he's
actually
sliding on his sliding on his backside. He took one in the chops, like.
Yeah, and it was just it was clearly a frustration from that first play not being blown dead, and them just trying to prove a point, which is very on brand for the Steelers.
Okay. And this proves why the two of you would make much better NFL referees than me. Because I would have been like, didn't hit him with his head. Who cares? Let's go. All right. And speaking of using your head, we had a player who used his head fairly well over the weekend. And according to his helmet company, they said that his head worked just fine. Yes, it is true. The Vices 02 helmet that was worn by Patrick Mahomes that decided to explode almost off of his head over the weekend, according to the company, has worked perfectly. Buy or sell, anyone truly believing a helmet company about their helmet?
I mean, it's what are they gonna say? Our product sucks. It's just a matter of I don't think anybody was prepared for those extreme of temperatures, and I highly doubt that they tested them in negative 16-degree weather. Probably not a whole lot of need for that. But no, it is a bad look for them. I mean, I compare it to kind of in a more extreme sense to the Zion Williamson shoe explosion, where I think you can make something out of it that you didn't know you had.
So I'm going to be honest here. I was on a bus back from North Dakota while that game was going on and didn't have access to my Peacock account. So I was actually listening to the Westwood One stream on my phone. So I only have Kevin Harlan describing what happened to Patrick Mahomes' helmet. And he did an excellent job of talking about how they were on the sideline trying to fit it back in like a puzzle piece and put some glue on it. It was actually really entertaining to listen to on the radio, even though I never saw it. But I will say that I agree totally. This is down to conditions. This is about weather. This was not anything that these helmets are designed to withstand, right? We're talking about 27 below wind chill. Plastic breaks, man. Like it's going to break in these conditions. So did it work as it was intended to? Probably, because it wasn't intended to be used in those conditions.
Yeah. They may not have lied, but they may not have told the entire truth either. Hey, that was Buy or Sell. If you want to check it out, you can listen to it at SoundCloud.com/after-hours1620 was brought to you by Caddyshack Bar and Grill. It's late at night, and if you're looking for something to do, there's no better location to stop by than one of the two great locations that Caddyshack has to offer, 117th and Blondo or 180th and Harrison. You can stop by and get $17 domestic buckets all night long to celebrate your Tuesday night here on 1620 The Zone. We'll be right back with our Papillion Sanitation Trash Takes of the Night. Hey, everybody, it's Jimmy Allen here for the Omaha Supernovas. The season is just a handful of days away, 8 days from tonight. You can check out the Omaha Supernovas taking on the Atlanta Vibe live at the CHI Health Center. All you got to do is head over to supernovas.com tonight, buy your individual or season tickets today.
Your Omaha area forecast from the Godfather's Pizza Weather Center and KETV News Watch 7 on 1620 The Zone.
Mostly clear and bitterly cold tonight. Low temperature dipping back to near zero. Light little southwest breeze. Skies become mostly cloudy on Wednesday. Maybe a few flurries late in the day. High temperature near 20. I'm Chief Meteorologist Bill Ranby from KETV News Watch 7.
There's never been a better time to choose a new career path than right now. Hi, I'm Tracy with Papillion Sanitation. If you're at a point in your life where you want a career, not a job, Papillion Sanitation is the place for you. From 401k options to opportunities for career advancement, come make Papillion Sanitation your future. Check out papillion-sanitation.com today to apply and make a change for the better. Papillion Sanitation, equal opportunity employer.
Get ready, Nebraska. The Omaha Supernovas, your Major League Volleyball team, is set to make history when they kick off Season 1 against the Atlanta Vibe on January 24th at the CHI Health Center. Get ready for world-class volleyball with the Supernovas, boasting a lineup of former national champions and Olympians who can't wait to add to Nebraska's vibrant volleyball culture. Be a part of the volleyball movement that's sweeping the nation and get your tickets today before they're gone. Visit supernovas.com. That's supernovas.com.
The temperatures are dropping fast, and Old Man Winter is right around the corner. If your home isn't going to win the battle against the cold this year, let the #1 roofer in Omaha for 12 consecutive years come fight the battle for you. Let Pyramid Roofing come out and replace your gutters, your siding, your windows. They do it all. Give Pyramid a call tonight at 402-502-9300 or check out pyramidroof.com to book a free estimate today. Tell Old Man Winter to take a hike.
PyramidRoof.com, never settle for less.
Hey, Jays fans, it's hoop season, and you know what that means. Jerry Ryan has the best selection in town for all things Creighton gear. Stop by Jerry Ryan at 78th and Dodge for your quarter zips in all shades of Jays blue, plus jackets, vest, winter coats, you name it. They have it. Multiple Jays options for men and women from Peter Millar, Cutter and Buck, and Johnny O. Stop by Jerry Ryan Clothing and dress like the coaches do.
At Jerry Ryan's, we bring out the best in you.
When you think Caddyshack, you think about an unforgettable dining experience. Stop in for Meatloaf Monday for just $10.95. Tuesdays are all about the happy with dollar drinks during all-day happy hour. Celebrate a Wing Wednesday with after hours. Thursday is spaghetti night for $10.95 a plate. Or grab some lunch on Fridays with the $12.95 hot beef sandwich. Caddyshack. 2 great locations off of 117th and Blondo and 180th and Harrison. The official watering hole of After Hours on 1620 The Zone.
The dream of playing the sport you love may be closer than you think. The Bellevue University Athletic Department proudly sports the best scholarship funding among NAIA programs in the state. To compete with the best, we need to recruit the best. All incoming freshmen earn a $5,000 scholarship when they enroll at Bellevue University. Learn more by looking us up at bubruins.com and reach out to your future coach today.
It's cold, it's windy, you're stuck inside, but not for long. Spring will be here before you know it. And if you want to get off the couch and enjoy the outdoors when the mercury starts to rise, head over to ForsmansFinest.com today. Let the finest deck builders in the Omaha area come build you an outdoor experience you will love. A deck, a patio with a cover, there isn't much Forsmans can't do. Check out ForsmansFinest.com and have your dream outdoor experience in 2024.
Take your business to the next level. Reach more customers and expand your online presence. Pixel Fire Marketing is here to help. Pixel Fire Marketing creates high-quality professional websites tailored to your business. Their experts are with you every step of the way to make sure your website is visually appealing, user-friendly, and optimized for search engines. They also offer web design, development, hosting, and maintenance. Get started on your website. Visit pixelfiremarketing.com. That's pixelfiremarketing.com now to learn more.
Are you ready to elevate your taste buds? Look no further than Pepper Jacks, your go-to destination for bold flavors and endless choices. Dive into their mouth-watering rice bowls, crisp salads, hearty Phillies, savory burritos, and loaded nachos. What sets them apart? Complete customization. Choose your base, proteins, toppings, and sauces for a personalized culinary adventure. At Pepper Jacks, it's not just a meal, it's an experience. Unleash your cravings and savor the bold tastes at Pepper Jacks today. Life's too short for bland. Spice it up at Pepper Jacks.
Now back to After Hours with Jimmy Allen on 1620 The Zone.
$7:18 on a Tuesday night here on 1620 The Zone, brought to you by Papillion Sanitation. If you're looking for a new career, head over to papillion-sanitation.com. Become a driver. There's a $10,000 stick around bonus as well. It's time for our Papillion Sanitation trash takes of the night. What we'll do here is all three of us will give you a hot take. We'll put a poll up on Twitter. You will vote on who you thought had the best take, which is important to remember. And we'll let you know on Friday night who won the poll. John Schreiner, live from your home. Do you want to go ahead and start us off?
I'll start off because you know what it means.
Soccer time.
It's time to talk soccer.
What?
Jose Mourinho was fired
of the
by
famous
Roma. Yes, of them. Jose Mourinho was fired by Roma, the team from Rome in Italy. Soccer folks on Twitter have been calling for him to become the next coach of the U.S. men's national team.
Oh, wow.
Now, he is famously a former coach of Chelsea, which is my team in the English Premier League.
So your thoughts are?
I'm pulling back on those reins.
Okay.
Greg Berhalter is going to be the coach for this World Cup cycle unless something terrible and unbelievably embarrassing happens at the Copa America this summer. So the timing's wrong, first of all. And let us not forget the last time that a European head coach came to the U.S. to become the savior. His name was Jurgen Klinsmann, and he failed to get the U.S. into the 2018 World Cup. So let's not. Bruce Arena and Greg Berhalter have arguably been the two most successful head coaches of the U.S. men's national team. They're both American. Let's not hire Jose Mourinho.
Okay. Dan?
Yeah, I actually I pretty much 100% agree with you, John. It doesn't make sense to me just in general as like a concept because
I hate it.
Berhalter already kind of has, especially with the team that we have right now, they're fairly young with a couple olds, soccer olds mixed in there. And I think Berhalter kind of has his hands on the reins pretty well right now. And I think if you give him up to Jose Mourinho, I mean, obviously you're giving him up to an amazing coach.
Nobody wants to watch the U.S. park the bus and play for a 1-0 or a 0-0 draw. It's boring, and he's lost his fastball.
Yeah, and it just doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense, like, logically in my mind, like, whatsoever. So, I agree.
I think that the U.S. soccer team will kick the ball into a net. That's my take on that.
That's what that's your trash take. Good one. Way to go. Put it on the poll.
Put it up. Do you want to go next, or would you like me to go?
How about you go? I'm still trying to figure out how to formulate mine in the way to most trash take
articulately say it. The EA Sports football game, like the oblong ball version of it. It's never coming out. It is never going to happen. This football game, this video game has been postponed so many times. It's been teased. The carrot just keeps being dangled out in front of the stick for everybody to chase it. And there's this rumor and this trailer's coming out. And you're going to see it on this day. Everybody that's just saying, well, just make it. You can edit the rosters as we go along. Has never had to do due diligence on anything like you don't just plug a game in and it's just there. Somebody had to create this, and there's so many moving parts. Think about how much college football has just changed in the last 10 months, let alone the last 5 years. And people are like, well, you're going to have the transfer portal in the game. Yeah, but you got to think about this logistically. There's a wide receiver at Arizona right now that is transferring to Washington. If he signed a waiver to get paid to be in the game in Arizona, is it the same thing as it is in Washington? What happens if the Pac-12 just goes, we just won't be a thing anymore? And you have to put this in a fake world where you can't just change things on the fly, and you got to do different graphics and write software and code all this stuff up. Think about how much college football has changed in the last 12 months. Think about the trajectory in which it's going to change over the next 3 to 5 years, and how you can each year in and out try to build this video game around this world that is changing on a minute-by-minute basis today. It's never happening. We will never see the end. We will not ever. We will not see this game for the next 5 years.
5 years
minimum. Whoa.
I think eventually the dust will settle and we will have a better idea of what college football is. It's not going to look the same, and you can't make this video game until it does.
Do you have any sort of rebuttal to this, John? Because I am ready to call him out on his just straight foolishness.
Go ahead.
Number one,
I don't agree. I think this game is too much of a cash cow. People are clamoring for it. EA is going to find a way to get it on the shelves.
Yeah. So, Jimmy, I'm going to point out that there is a sports game. It's called NBA 2K. This happens all the time in the NBA. You know how they have these things called trades?
Yeah.
Yeah. NBA 2K actually has a live server update.
Do you know
updates constantly?
Do you know what the NBA has? A collective bargaining agreement where everybody in the game has already agreed to do it. And you don't have people backing out of it because it's already written into a contract. You know what NCAA football doesn't have? That. There's so many moving parts where it's so unrealistic. And yeah, it's as simple as, okay, well, go ahead and leave that guy out of the video game. Okay, well, does that guy that you're leaving out of the video game have a grounds to stand on for a lawsuit where they're going to get a lot more than $500 because their name, image, and likeness may to some degree be on the game? It's the reason the game got canceled in the first place. For every 1,000 people that are going to be happy that it's out there, you're going to have that one player, Sam Keller, who's unhappy with their likeness being in the video game and not getting paid for it, or not feeling like they're getting paid enough. That there's so many moving parts to this, where either you have to have a college football collective bargaining agreement with whatever, or if there is eventually a commissioner of college football, puts into place where this video game is just a subsidiary of being a college football player at that level, or this is never going to happen.
It's coming.
Okay, Coach Brown. All right, what's your hot take?
My hot take comes as a sort of a two-parter tonight.
Okay.
Number one, as listeners of this program, and Jimmy, and I hope, John, you're going to learn right now, or already know, I have been fairly bullish in the past on Jordan Love. I have said he is not our quarterback. He could not be our quarterback. How could Jordan Love ever be the quarterback of the Packers? Guess what? Number one, Jordan Love is a future Hall of Famer, and he is the third Hall of Famer that the Packers are going to have as their quarterback in a row. That's right. This guy right here has never known horrible quarterback play in his entire life. Most of the time.
What an awful world to live in, Dan. I'm so sorry.
It is indeed.
You
now,
suck.
from that, I've only ever seen 2 Super Bowls.
Oh,
along with that,
John, he's only seen 2 Super Bowls. You playing the violin for him?
Well, I've technically seen 2, but I was 2 years old when the first one happened.
How much would you have hated 2 Super Bowls in the last 20 years? Wouldn't it be great?
Well, that would have meant Dan Snyder had 2 Super Bowls, and I kind of wouldn't have liked that.
Problematic world to live in.
Yeah. And part 2, Jimmy,
don't do it.
The Packers are going to beat the 49ers this weekend.
Less than 1% chance that happens. Hey, if you missed any of Dan Campenon's hot takes, want to tell him he's wrong, you can do it so at SoundCloud.com/afterhours1620. It was brought to you by Forsman's Finest Decks. You want to watch football out on your patio next year, but you just kind of have a slab of concrete, nothing really around it? Put a cover on it. Add a patio to it. Do it all with Forsman's Finest Decks. They can build you a deck, put a cover on it, and add that something your house has been missing. They can't win you a Super Bowl trophy, though, John Schneider. I'm sorry to tell you that. You can head over to Forsman's Finest Deck and have your dream deck built this spring. Forsman's Finest Decks, building the finest decks around town. Does the NFL have a weather problem? We debate. We come back here on 1620 The Zone.
Friends, countrymen, listeners of the After Hours Lounge, if your takes are hot, you know what else should be hot? Well, if you're Dan Camponen, it is your Gunner cheesesteak from Pepper Jack's Grill. Yes, that is right. You can get jalapeno juice on your Gunner Philly cheesesteak. It's the only way to eat it, if you're asking me. Throw on some vegetables, kick back with some fries, and enjoy football this weekend, where my Packers are going to beat Jimmy's 49ers. Wrong! And even if I am wrong, at least I'll be full on Pepper Jack's Grill. Go get some tonight.
Did that trash or recycling truck roll by your house without stopping again? Hi, I'm Megan with Papillion Sanitation. At Papillion Sanitation, trash and recycling is our passion. From residential to commercial, we've cleaned up Omaha and surrounding areas for more than 30 years. So if your home or business needs reliable, friendly trash or recycle service, check out papillion-sanitation.com today and see how our customer service and professionalism can't be matched. Head over to papillion-sanitation.com to upgrade your trash or recycling service today.
Are you looking to be part of a winning tradition? The Bellevue University Bruins could be the right fit for you. Whether on the court or on the field, track or course, our student athletes strive and succeed. This year, Bellevue teams and individuals have combined to win 11 conference championships, with 8 teams qualifying for their national tournaments. Plus, nearly 50 student athletes were also named to all conference teams. Find out more about our tradition of excellence at BUBruins.com.
Get ready, Nebraska. The Omaha Supernovas, your Major League Volleyball team, is set to make history when they kick off Season 1 against the Atlanta Vibe on January 24th at the CHI Health Center. Get ready for world-class volleyball with the Supernovas, boasting a lineup of former national champions and Olympians who can't wait to add to Nebraska's vibrant volleyball culture. Be a part of the volleyball movement that's sweeping the nation, and get your tickets today before they're gone. Visit supernovas.com. That's supernovas.com.
The temperatures are dropping fast, and Old Man Winter is right around the corner. If your home isn't going to win the battle against the cold this year, let the #1 roofer in Omaha for 12 consecutive years come fight the battle for you. Let Pyramid Roofing come out and replace your gutters, your siding, your windows. They do it all. Give Pyramid a call tonight at 402-502-9300 or check out pyramidroof.com to book a free estimate today. Tell Old Man Winter to take a hike.
PyramidRoof.com, never settle for less.
When you think Caddyshack, you think about an unforgettable dining experience. Stop in for Meatloaf Monday for just $10.95. Tuesdays are all about the happy with dollar drinks during all-day happy hour. Celebrate a Wing Wednesday with After Hours. Thursday is Spaghetti Night for $10.95 a plate. Or grab some lunch on Fridays with the $12.95 hot beef sandwich. Caddyshack. 2 great locations off of 117th and Blondo and 180th and Harrison. The official watering hole of After Hours on 1620 The Zone.
Graduation season will be here before you know it, and you can have the 402 barbecue truck come to your party or event you're hosting. Stop by the Brick and Mortar on 84th and Spring and try the food. Then, when you get the craving, come back and book the food truck to be the caterer for your event. Graduations, company outings, community events, they do it all. 402 Barbecue at 3027 South 84th Street. Stop by today and grab lunch.
Are you a living, breathing human being? If so, you're someone who would benefit tremendously from the non-invasive therapies at West Omaha Cryo. Their facility is equipped with whole body cryo, red light, hyperbaric oxygen, infrared sauna, and pneumatic compression. Each therapy offers its own unique profile of health benefits that'll leave you feeling better than ever. And for a limited time, they're offering listeners an unlimited 1-week trial membership for just $39. Head on over to westocryo.com/afterhours to claim your offer.
It's cold, it's windy, you're stuck inside, but not for long. Spring will be here before you know it. And if you want to get off the couch and enjoy the outdoors when the mercury starts to rise, head over to Foresman'sFinest.com today. Let the finest deck builders in the Omaha area come build you an outdoor experience you will love. A deck, a patio with a cover, there isn't much Foresman's can't do. Check out Foresman'sFinest.com and have your dream outdoor experience in 2024.
Going Vertical Basketball Academy is the premier sports performance training facility in the Midwest. Working with athletes as young as kindergarten all the way to college and the pros, GVBA offers a variety of packages from individual workouts to group sessions. They also offer elite-level sports performance training for athletes of all sports. Check out the academy at 10700 Sapp Brothers Drive in Omaha or at goingverticalomaha.com. That's goingverticalomaha.com.
Now back to After Hours with Jimmy Allen on 1620 The Zone.
It's 7:32 on a Tuesday night here on 1620 The Zone. John Schreiner, Jimmy Allen, Dan Campinen with you tonight. Brought to you by Papillion Sanitation. If you're looking for a new career, head over to papillion-sanitation.com. Become a driver. There's a $10,000 stick-around bonus as well. The NFL season is into the playoffs, and obviously we just talked about the the playoff, super wild card weekend. Easy for me to say.
Yeehaw! Super wild card
of the playoffs wrapping up, and the Miami Dolphins had to come to Kansas City and play in the third coldest playoff game in NFL history. Orchard Park had to reschedule their playoff game between the Bills and the Steelers due to 6 feet of snow being in the area. Are we leaning towards an era when we talk about Arrowhead possibly moving? They're looking at redoing Soldier Field. Orchard Park's still relatively new, but where the NFL may start mandating indoor facilities.
No.
John Schreiner?
I don't see the problem. So if you have a climate that you can use to your benefit, why would you not? I mean, the teams in the South in baseball get to use the climate to their advantage when they can practice outside. The teams in the South in football get to use the climate to their advantage when it's hot for people coming in who've just come out of the cool weather, right? Teams in the East, when teams travel to the West Coast, have or teams from the West Coast when they travel east have a tough time adjusting to the time difference because it's way later, right? And teams from the East have to start playing way earlier. I don't think you can start getting into the weeds on these things about whether it's fair to have to play in a different climate than the one you're from, and not just have it be like it gets way too complicated way too soon. So then time zones are in play, and now it's too hot to play outdoors in Miami. Like, no, there's not a weather problem in the NFL. It's too much. If you're thinking that we need to move all these games indoors, take a step back, man. Like, come back from the ledge. You've gone too close.
Here's why I'm ready to jump. It's exactly what you talked about earlier. We know how much we might need the breaking. No, we don't need the breaking news drop for this.
Do we?
Owners in the NFL love money.
Dun, dun, dun.
And they love concession stands being full and people being at their stadium, and they don't love seeing dads have to shovel their way through to get to their seats to drag their 11-year-old children to football games. Also, they really like protecting their superstars. And you brought it up earlier, John. Patrick Mahomes' his helmet being cracked may be the catalyst for this argument going forward, because that is their poster child. And if they want this to happen, they now have it on film to show. I think the majority of owners would like it. It's a better look. Rich people like being warm. I think when you talk about the fan bases specifically, it was really cool to see the snow throwing in Buffalo after the touchdown. That was really cool. It looked like a Miami nightclub about 3 a.m. And then you had, obviously, everybody showed up in Kansas City. The weather didn't stop them, and it was great to see that. Lambeau always turns out a great group when it is cold. I just think if you're talking about ownerships making decisions, I think the vast majority of them would want inside venues.
So I want to kind of back up to John's point, because in my mind, Miami specifically this weekend got what was coming to them, because they have a stadium that specifically has one sideline that's like 40 degrees hotter than the other one. And then to John's point, what are you going to do about Denver then? You're playing a mile high in the mountains. Air's a little bit thinner up there. Oh, now you got to move your stadium down to Loveland or something, or, down into the valley. There's just so many things.
There's a lot of moving parts. I agree.
That don't need to be changed. And there is a rumor that when the Bills build their new stadium, that they're going to put a retractable roof on there. But I like outdoor football. For years, it's been the superpower of my quarterback.
This is not my take. I just think this is the motion that we're moving in. When you see the new modernization of all of these stadiums, I mean, listen, there's nobody that's sitting in Green Bay, Wisconsin, in Orchard Park, New York, or Kansas City, Missouri, that can go up to Minneapolis, Minnesota right now, sit in that stadium that the Vikings built and said, yeah, this is a downgrade from what we got. That place is beautiful, and it's awesome 12 months out of the year. And I'm as an old crotchety old man, I'm here for it. I'm not going to sit in 40 degree weather, let alone 20 below.
I mean, if we were talking about taking turf out of stadiums and putting in real grass, you'd have me there. Okay. I'd be all for it.
Which players are clamoring for.
But moving it all inside, playing games indoors just does not sound fun to me. It's the environment. It's the sun. It's the sky. It's the freezing cold weather at Lambeau. It's snow in Buffalo.
I didn't see a whole lot of sun in either one of those two cold games this weekend.
I mean, they're both played at night, so
I'll say that I think you might see some more domed stadiums, but I don't think the NFL can go so far as to mandate it. I don't think that they can say like everyone has to play indoors. It's a bridge too far, because then you have all of those other situations that have been brought up: time zones, elevation. What about summer weather, right? Like, I don't think it's a wise move for the NFL to start dictating whether or not you have to play indoors or out.
But it's not like every warm weather team plays outdoors either. I mean, obviously you have Atlanta,
Houston,
Vegas, New Orleans, Vegas. Yeah, listen, you have to have an indoor stadium in Vegas.
People will die.
Yeah, that's not going to go well. But and listen, I mean, there's a possibility you could have some people in pretty rough shape after this weekend in those cold weather games too. And I think just to avoid situations like that, listen, I'm as big a fan of anybody, and I was at that 06 Big 12 championship game at Arrowhead, and it was 50 degrees warmer for that game than it was on Sunday. And I was absolutely miserable. I cannot believe how full those stadiums were. And hats off to those fans. And hats off to the show. You can always listen to it at soundcloud.com/afterhours1620. That segment was brought to you by our friends who are always trusted and loved at Going Vertical Omaha. Going Vertical is the premier training facility in the Midwest. You can work with Adam Barnes and his crew that trains the best of the best in the metro area, all the way up into NBA guys, even some college players. You can also work with a kindergarten in your life. There's a wide range of trainers out at Going Vertical Omaha. And if you want to get the player in your life some extra work on the hardwood, you can do so at goingverticalomaha.com tonight. We wrap up the show. We're going to win you some money. I also want to talk about Dylan Raiola and what it means for him to be out of the Polynesian Bowl. Also a guy by the name of Carter Nelson's out there as well. We're going to get into all that and more as we wrap up the show. We come back here on 1620 The Zone. Hey, everybody, it's Jimmy Allen here for Jerry Ryan Clothing and Sportswear. The Pink Out game for Creighton is just a week away now, and if you don't have the best options that you can have to wear for a great special event that happens here in Omaha every single year, Jerry Ryan has options in striped and solid for the Pink Out game with Creighton's logo on it. You can stop by 78th and Dodge, dress like the coaches, or get ready for a big event like this. Jerry Ryan's been dressing Omaha for over 50 years.
There's never been a better time to choose a new career path than right now. Hi, I'm Tracy with Papillion Sanitation. If you're at a point in your life where you want a career, not a job, Papillion Sanitation is the place for you. From 401k options to opportunities for career advancement, come make Papillion Sanitation your future. Check out papillion-sanitation.com today to apply and make a change for the better. Papillion Sanitation, equal opportunity employer.
The dream of playing the sport you love may be closer than you think. The Bellevue University Athletic Department proudly sports the best scholarship funding among NAIA programs in the state. To compete with the best, we need to recruit the best. All incoming freshmen earn a $5,000 scholarship when they enroll at Bellevue University. Learn more by looking us up at bubruins.com and reach out to your future coach today.
When you think Caddyshack, you think about an unforgettable dining experience. Stop in for Meatloaf Monday for just $10.95. Tuesdays are all about the happy with dollar drinks during all-day happy hour. Celebrate a Wing Wednesday with After Hours. Thursday is Spaghetti Night for $10.95 a plate. Or grab some lunch on Fridays with the $12.95 hot beef sandwich. Caddyshack. 2 great locations off of 117th and Blondo and 180th and Harrison. The official watering hole of After Hours on 1620 The Zone.
It's cold, it's windy, you're stuck inside, but not for long. Spring will be here before you know it. And if you want to get off the couch and enjoy the outdoors when the mercury starts to rise, head over to Foresman'sFinest.com today. Let the finest deck builders in the Omaha area come build you an outdoor experience you will love. A deck, a patio with a cover, there isn't much Forsman's can't do. Check out Foresman'sFinest.com and have your dream outdoor experience in 2024.
Hey, Jays fans, it's hoop season, and you know what that means. Jerry Ryan has the best selection in town for all things Creighton gear. Stop by Jerry Ryan at 78th and Dodge for your quarter zips in all shades of Jays blue, plus jackets, vest, winter coats, you name it. They have it. Multiple Jays options for men and women from Peter Millar, Cutter and Buck, and Johnny O. Stop by Jerry Ryan Clothing and dress like the coaches do.
At Jerry Ryan's, we bring out the best in you.
The temperatures are dropping fast, and Old Man Winter is right around the corner. If your home isn't going to win the battle against the cold this year, let the #1 roofer in Omaha for 12 consecutive years come fight the battle for you. Let Pyramid Roofing come out and replace your gutters, your siding, your windows. They do it all. Give Pyramid a call tonight at 402-502-9300 or check out pyramidroof.com to book a free estimate today. Tell Old Man Winter to take a hike.
PyramidRoof.com, never settle for less.
Going Vertical Basketball Academy is the premier sports performance training facility in the Midwest. Working with athletes as young as kindergarten all the way to college and the pros, GVBA offers a variety of packages from individual workouts to group sessions. They also offer elite-level sports performance training for athletes of all sports. Check out the academy at 10700 Sap Brothers Drive in Omaha or at goingverticalomaha.com. That's goingverticalomaha.com.
Cards issued by Sutton Bank and Celtic Bank, members of FDIC. Terms and conditions apply. Are you the decision maker in your company? Consider this. For the first time in decades, there's a better option for a corporate card and spend management platform. Meet Ramp, the only corporate card and spend management system designed to help you spend less money so you can make more. Most corporate credit cards offer points as incentives, but those points amount to less than their worth in real cash value. Ramp's corporate cards offer you cash back, real money in your pocket. Plus, you control who spends what with each vendor. And Ramp software collects and verifies receipts automatically, which means you'll stop wasteful spending and close your books in hours instead of days. Businesses that use Ramp add up to 5% to their bottom line the first year. If you're a decision maker, adding Ramp could be one of the best decisions you've ever made. And now get $250 when you join Ramp. Just go to ramp.com/sports. ramp.com/sports. ramp.com/sports.
You're listening to After Hours with Jimmy Allen on 1620 The Zone.
It is closing time here on 1620 The Zone, brought to you by Papillion Sanitation. If you're looking for a new career, head over to papillion-sanitation.com tonight. Before we get into our closing time picks, John Schreiner, Nebraska's future quarterback Dylan Raiola is out on the islands in Hawaii in the Polynesian Bowl. Yep. And he's putting together a very solid highlight reel as the days chug along. He's made a couple of throws that just look effortless. And Nebraska's got a guy that's going to be featured in an All-American Bowl type event. Two of them, obviously, with Carter Nelson being out there as well. This just feels different, right? It just feels bigger than anything. Maybe not anything, but in a long time that Nebraska has a ton of momentum heading in the right direction.
Yeah, it's a 5-star quarterback. It's something
Also
we haven't had that around here before. So I think this is probably what it feels like when you sign a 5-star quarterback, right? We don't know this feeling of having so much excitement about an incoming freshman quarterback. I think there was some excitement for Adrian Martinez, but he wasn't a 5-star. Like,
I'll let him know you said that tomorrow.
Yeah, thank you. Please do. But there was certainly excitement for it, but he wasn't the number one player in the country.
Yeah.
Right.
And
like, this is a different animal. This is a different level.
It's starting to make sense. And it did before. But I mean, it's just like, it makes more and more sense why you're seeing guys like Dana Holgorsen become interested, why you're seeing guys like Glenn Thomas want to forego a job in the NFL to come be around this guy. Why you're looking at a guy like Jamal Banks who put up 1,000 yards receiving in the ACC, want to come be in Lincoln for the last year, because this guy is just flicking his wrist and this ball jumps out of his hand, flies 40 yards through the air, and a wide receiver has to run to catch up to it. I can't remember the last time we saw wide receivers running to catch up to balls in Lincoln. It's been a long time, and it makes me really excited, not only for these guys that are coming in, but when you look at what Nebraska was able to do last year with guys like Malachi Coleman, with guys like Jalen Lloyd, and bringing those guys into an offense that they're going to be able to flourish in. And we saw Trey Palmer have an amazing touchdown in the NFL game last night. And this isn't any shade at Casey Thompson. There was times where Trey Palmer had a guy beat by like 11 yards and had to slow down for a ball. That's not even the case with this guy that you have taken snaps next season.
No, it's certainly not. And it's exciting, man. This feels like a new dawn for the program, right? This is what we've been asking for, right? It's the turn over the new leaf, forget the past. Let's forge the new path. Somebody please turn this thing around. And I don't know. Look, I don't want to get too excited because the kid hasn't played a down of football at the University of Nebraska yet. But the hope is what is really evident. And I don't think like Nebraska fans are eternally hopeful. That's why everyone, it's the offseason national championship every
Hang
year.
the banner, baby.
It's because Nebraska fans are a very hopeful bunch. They are always looking for the next time when the team's going to be good, and it's always going to be next year, right? That it's every time. The Nebraska fans, and there's a reason why so many Nebraskans are Cubs fans, right?
Oh wow. Yeah, I guess that's a pretty similar correlation there. We talk when we talk about
No, that's all.
I was just gonna say real quick. I had sent both of you from
gave
the
me the
After
side
Hours program Twitter page. Dylan Raiola and Carter Nelson are actually getting in some tosses right now at the Polynesian Bowl as well from Sean Callahan's Twitter page. And you love to see a big tight end warming up without gloves on.
Yeah.
Just warms my heart.
Yeah.
That he's catching passes without gloves on, and you got all these other, guys walking behind him. They're all obviously wide receivers wearing gloves. The guy wearing gloves drops the second ball that comes to him. Carter Nelson casually catches the ball one-handed and sort of flips it to the guy who's, really playing catch with Dylan. Ooh. I mean, off-season national championship for sure.
You're the oldest young man I've ever met.
Is the sweater what's doing it for you?
And the takes as well.
I love wide receivers and tight ends who don't wear gloves and are just raw dogging the football with their hands.
Nope.
We're not saying
that. We're not saying that.
On that note, we're gonna pivot to our
raw dog of football.
No, you can't.
Poll question: can you raw dog a football? We're gonna pivot to our picks here tonight. We'll each give you 3 winners against the spread tonight. John Schreiner, you want to go and finish this off?
Yeah. 3 winners against the spread. So I have tonight, starting in 9 minutes, Kansas -7.5 at Oklahoma State. I got the Jayhawks big in that one. Oklahoma State's 8-8. Hawks are the number 2 team in the country. Tomorrow in the FA Cup, I've got Norwich City against Bristol Rovers. Norwich City plays a division higher than Bristol Rovers, and they're actually not favored to win the match. They're an underdog. They're going to win. And tonight, I also have the Phoenix Coyotes plus 1.5 goals against Calgary.
I never take the Phoenix Coyotes in anything because they shouldn't be playing hockey in the desert. Dan Campinen?
Well, speaking of the desert, that is where I am going to make my cut tonight. The Sacramento Kings are coming down to Phoenix tonight, and I think, number one, the Kings win that matchup, but Devin Booker will score over 26.5 points, and Domantas Sabonis will have over 19.5 points.
I'm going all college basketball tonight. I agree with John Schreiner. I think Kansas absolutely rolls tonight. They're not only the number 2 team in the country, they're number 4 in the country in covering the spread this year. Wisconsin is -5.5 as a favorite tonight at home. I will take the Badgers as well. And then I will wrap it up with the Georgia Bulldogs, who were not very good a year ago, and Vegas has not really shown favor to them this year. They're actually got a pretty good squad this year. They're an underdog at South Carolina tonight. I don't think they outright win. I don't think they lose by 8 points either. So give me Dylan Raiola's former team he was committed to, the Georgia Bulldogs basketball program. He
was committed to play basketball at Georgia. I didn't know that.
He might have got a little bit of hoops action in at Buford High School.
He's multi-talented.
You can't confirm or deny that. I'm sure you probably could if you did enough research, but we're not going to do that tonight. John, before we get out of here, we talked about the Polynesian Bowl. Are you excited to watch any of this?
I don't know if I will have time to watch any of this, to be 100% honest with you. But typically with high school all-star games, I don't pay much attention.
It will be Friday at 4 p.m. Hawaiian time. That is 8 o'clock here.
Which means I'm probably going to be in a hotel in Kansas City at that point. No, I'm with high school all-star games, to be totally bare honest, I don't care. It's not a real football game. It's an all-star game, right? You're not going to glean anything from it, really.
Hey, the NFL Network thinks it's enough to put it on their television.
Yeah. I don't know. It doesn't entice me to turn it on. I'll check the highlights on Twitter later, but I'm not going to tune in.
You can always tune into the highlights or the entire show of this show by checking it out at soundcloud.com/afterhours1620. Was brought to you by Pyramid Roofing. If your house is feeling the effects of this winter bliss, Pyramid Roofing come help you out. They can take care of your roof, your windows, your gutters, your siding. They do it all at Pyramid Roof. Give them a call tonight at 402-502-9300. Check out pyramidroof.com to book a free estimate today. For Dan Campion and John Schreiner, I've been Jimmy Allen. Happy National Fig Newton Day, everybody.
Did that trash or recycling truck roll by your house without stopping again? Hi, I'm Megan with Papillion Sanitation. At Papillion Sanitation, trash and recycling is our passion. From residential to commercial, we've cleaned up Omaha and surrounding areas for more than 30 years. So if your home or business needs reliable, friendly, trash, or recycle service, check out papillion-sanitation.com today and see how our customer service and professionalism can't be matched. Head over to papillion-sanitation.com to upgrade your trash or recycling service today.
Are you looking to be part of a winning tradition? The Bellevue University Bruins could be the right fit for you. Whether on the court or on the field, track or course, our student athletes strive and succeed. This year, Bellevue teams and individuals have combined to win 11 conference championships, with 8 teams qualifying for their national tournaments. Plus, nearly 50 student athletes were also named to all conference teams. Find out more about our tradition of excellence at BUBruins.com.
When you think Caddyshack, you think about an unforgettable dining experience. Stop in for Meatloaf Monday for just $10.95. Tuesdays are all about the happy with dollar drinks during all-day happy hour. Celebrate a Wing Wednesday with After Hours. Thursday is Spaghetti Night for $10.95 a plate. Or grab some lunch on Fridays with the $12.95 hot beef sandwich. Caddyshack. 2 great locations off of 117th and Blondo and 180th and Harrison. The official watering hole of After Hours on 1620 The Zone.
Going Vertical Basketball Academy is the premier sports performance training facility in the Midwest. Working with athletes as young as kindergarten all the way to college and the pros, GVBA offers a variety of packages from individual workouts to group sessions. They also offer elite-level sports performance training for athletes of all sports. Check out the academy at 10700 Sap Brothers Drive in Omaha or at goingverticalomaha.com. That's goingverticalomaha.com.
Hey, Jays fans, it's hoop season, and you know what that means. Jerry Ryan has the best selection in town for all things Creighton gear. Stop by Jerry Ryan at 78th and Dodge for your quarter zips in all shades of Jays blue, plus jackets, vest, winter coats, you name it. They have it. Multiple Jays options for men and women from Peter Millar, Cutter and Buck, and Johnny O. Stop by Jerry Ryan Clothing and dress like the coaches do.
At Jerry Ryan's, we bring out the best in you.
Are you a living, breathing human being? If so, you're someone who would benefit tremendously from the non-invasive therapies at West Omaha Cryo. Their facility is equipped with whole body cryo, red light, hyperbaric oxygen, infrared sauna, and pneumatic compression. Each therapy offers its own unique profile of health benefits that'll leave you feeling better than ever. And for a limited time, they're offering listeners an unlimited 1-week trial membership for just $39. Head on over to westocryo.com/afterhours to claim your offer.
Are you ready to elevate your taste buds? Look no further than Pepper Jacks, your go-to destination for bold flavors and endless choices. Dive into their mouth-watering rice bowls, crisp salads, hearty Phillies, savory burritos, and loaded nachos. What sets them apart? Complete customization. Choose your base, proteins, toppings, and sauces for a personalized culinary adventure. At Pepper Jacks, it's not just a meal, it's an experience. Unleash your cravings and savor the bold tastes at Pepper Jacks today. Life's too short for bland. Spice it up at Pepper Jacks.
The temperatures are dropping fast, and Old Man Winter is right around the corner. If your home isn't going to win the battle against the cold this year, let the #1 roofer in Omaha for 12 consecutive years come fight the battle for you. Let Pyramid Roofing come out and replace your gutters, your siding, your windows. They do it all. Give Pyramid a call tonight at 402-502-9300 or check out pyramidroof.com to book a free estimate today. Tell Old Man Winter to take a hike.
PyramidRoof.com, never settle for less.
Pro volleyball season is here in Omaha. Chesterman Coca-Cola and Hy-Vee have partnered with the Omaha Supernovas. Right now, when you stop by any Omaha area Hy-Vee and pick up 2 12-packs of Coke, you can get a third one free. Plus, if you need to stay hydrated, do it with the all-new Body Armor Zero Sugar. You can get 10 for just $10. Coke and any Hy-Vee, keeping the Omaha Supernovas super.
Tickets for less. Best seats, best prices, no service fees. Shop ticketsforless.com. KOZN Bellevue, Omaha, Council Bluffs. This is 1620 The Zone.